Hey guys, it's your pal Victor here from Cult Classics, and hey, we're back with a toy review. And you guys know I'm a big McFarlane Toys collector, and you know it's because Batman's my jam, clearly. But man, you know Batman Hush and figures on that buck are my favorite version of those Batman figures. But I also really like Superman. We just had Superman Day, and I've been wanting a Superman that is in scale with Batman Hush, with Collector's Edition Wonder Woman, with Collector's Edition Power Girl. And I've been hearing that the new Digital Silver Age Superman is in scale with those figures, that it's got legs sort of like the Hush body. So I had to hunt him down. This is the Silver Age Superman. We're going to open him up and see how he scales. All right, so here we go. Alright guys, so here's the setup right here, and he comes with these two flying hands. So things I can tell you right from the get-go. So this is the Spawn Batman, and they are, as I'm knocking people down, roughly the same height. I mean, Batman's a little taller, so if a little taller is the best, I mean, because I just wanted a Batman who's in Superman who's in scale with this Batman, and he is for the most part. If you put him on a flight stand, he's definitely, you can fudge the scale on a shelf. I really like the head sculpt. I really wish that this was an embossed Superman symbol, and just to put point in perspective how this is an issue with Superman figures from McFarlane. So here's the, you know, the Superman Doomsday one, and you could tell these guys are not, this guy is essentially a 6-inch scale figure. Put it in perspective. Here's the DC Direct Bizarro #2, which is a very early 7-inch scale figure, so he's basically like 6.5 inches tops. These guys are the same scale, so this is like a 6.5 6-inch, you know, 1/12 scale figure, and this is the Superman that comes with Doomsday, right? And here we got Power Girl, which, again, for my money, this is like the best McFarlane female figure, you know, but she's at the high end of the 7-inch scale, right? Like, she's taller than Wonder Woman, right? And just so you see these Poison Ivy figures back here, these are the Alex Ross Justice figures. These are 7-inch scale too, you know, because DC Direct was also very fudgy. So all I really wanted was a figure, or a Superman figure, where realistically I could put him on the shelf and be like, these guys are roughly the same scale. And, you know, Kara's still taller than Superman, but it's not like the abomination it was before. Because, again, let's bring it back to these two. Again, not even close. I mean, you know, that's just wrong in several states. But here, you know, not too bad, you know. So that's all I wanted, because essentially I've been wanting a definitive Superman for a while. It was not the Hush Superman, you know, it was not the Doomsday Superman. It's not the Christopher Reeve Superman, which I also have, but he needs like a new head, because I don't like that head. So, you know, this is essentially, in my mind, McFarlane's last shot at getting, you know, definitive comic book Superman. And that's all I want, dude. It is, because I don't want like 90s Superman, you know. And look, like, I can even do this if I want. Now, let's get into the other issue here. So he's got the wired cape here. Let me just say this. This is the best application of the wired cape that they've done since the Batman versus Superman Dawn of Justice armored Batman. That is the best cape, wired cape McFarlane's done, besides this one that also has the bottom wired. My letdown here is that the bottom is not wired, you know, but the side is, so you can kind of tuck it in and get that, like, you know, Super Friends thing. I do think these hands, the flight hands, are like ridiculously oversized. Paul Bunyan here, it's like Andre the Giant, my man. Like, I can't with that, you know. Let me see if let's, you know, talk about, like, say a hovering pose, right? So we'll try a hovering pose, you know, which I'm just gonna use the power of make-believe, as Mr. Rogers once told me. All right, Vogue, strike a pose. All right, so let's say Superman was floating. It still looks stupid, you know. These hands don't, like, I don't know what the scale for these hands are, what figure they clearly could not have been made for this figure. McFarlane does tend to reuse, you know, body parts and stuff like that, you know, which is fine because, you know, it's served me in the past. Like, the glove hands on Power Girl are the flesh-toned hands on Wonder Woman, so it's like you can't keep asking people to keep coming up with different hands. But hey, you know what? The fists are very good, you know. And like I said, this matches the artwork. And if I want a Silver Age Superman, this is what I want it to look like. You know, I think there's not that many Silver Age Supermans. I feel like NECA did one that came with, like, Muhammad Ali, and it's still, like, faux cell shaded. And for the most part, I don't like the faux cell shading. I can deal with it on this because this is a comic book figure. I'll also say, like, you know, this whole thing is cast in red, so there is a little bit of bleed over here. I wish the face was painted instead of cast in flesh tone, but I don't know if you can tell. Yeah, you can tell right there. They did do the blue with the black wash over it, and that's the way you do it. You don't do blue dry brush over black. But just to put in perspective, I mean, it's not like this is also like cast in flesh tone, but I do tend to like this flesh tone more. And whatever plastic he used for this guy, I feel like holds more detail, you know, versus here. I don't know, it kind of looks soft to me, but that could just be me. Let's lift him up to the light a little bit. That could have just been a choice made for comic book, but like I can say I do like the fists. Let me see here. Yeah, and this is a different flesh tone, so, which is funny because these, like, grippy hands do look like they would scale. And they are the same, like, peg, so let me just try it. Upside also, these pegs come out really easily, or not too easily, but easily enough. Nope. That hand, the peg hole is a little too tight, so I don't want to fuck it up. But yeah, these snap into place. And this also comes with a Fidgetal code. Those are always good to get, you know, because if you keep collecting this stuff, sometimes if you're holding a certain Fidgetal figure, you'll get a coupon to get, like, some ridiculous, like, savings on some online release, you know, and that's actually a good deal considering the way tariffs are fucking up our hobby, you know. There. That's a Superman there. See, honestly, this would have been, like, if he had done this as the Centennial Park statue, I feel like that really goes well, like, clip the eagle there. But yeah, this is like the wholesome, smiley suit. And he also has a little bit of a smirk. So they did a good job on this release overall. I'm not unhappy with it, you know. Like I said, I wish this had been... I like these 3D ones. And I'm sad that he kind of like cheaped out of doing those. But this looks good, and I'm telling you, I know a lot of people really like Action Comics 1000 Superman. I am not a fan of that figure. I don't like that head sculpt. You know, overall, I like very much, you know, I like this one. It's sort of similar to the DC Direct 22 points of articulation Superman, which like is sort of a John Byrne Superman. This is not a John Byrne Superman, but it's in that ballpark. And it's giving me the closest I'm going to have to a 1/10 scale Superman that goes with Batman. And that's honestly all I really care about. There we go. They go together. That's good enough for me. And then I got Kara over here. And then I got also the collector's edition Wonder Woman, and I'll get her in a second. And then you guys can see the complete trilogy, Trinity, which is essentially what we care about. All right, so here we go. And here's the shot of the day, because look, Superman and Wonder Woman are perfectly in scale with one another. This is all you really need right here. You need the Trinity. There you go. Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman. I'm still not super whatever about this face, but it's not the end of the world, a deal breaker for me, you know. This is a great body. I really hope that there's like some reissue with this exact same body and a new head. And then I'll be happy, because it's not a Terry Dodson head. It's weird. And I keep trying to find angles to make it better. I think it's just the paint job or something. But here's the thing too. Like you're looking at the video right here. I'm looking in person, and it's just lighting. It does look better in person. All right. But that being said, there you go. This is like the best Superman, this is the best Batman, and this is the best Wonder Woman. You get this, you get the Trinity. Boom, end of story. They're all in scale. That's all you want. And, you know, here's Harley Quinn trying to be Batgirl. This is a custom. Anyway, guys, check that out. There you go. I still think the Mattel Superheroes Clayface is the best Clayface. So there you are. All right. If you enjoyed this video, like, subscribe. We'll see you later. All right. Bye-bye.